YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy Cheetah, and I'm back again. And tonight's video is going to be on my 5 must-have running backs that I believe is going to give you an advantage. So, I see some of my loyal subscribers already giving out some detail, giving out some intel. And I would tell you this video is a little bit different. I want to talk about some different guys that I believe in, but at the right ADP for the right title. So, yes, some of these guys, I see you, Zach, talking about James Cook, Zamir White. Let me see. B. John Brees, Saquon Breach, Derrick Henry, A-Chain, and Gibbs. Those guys are obvious. I've made a lot of videos on these guys. Maybe not as much as Gibbs. I like Gibbs, but I haven't done a lot on Gibbs. Those guys are obvious. But today or tonight, I want to talk about some different guys that they not as high on my list as, B. John and Breach, but they are good at the ADP value. So I'm thinking these guys give you an advantage because these guys are going to fall to you. So I see everybody in chat. I see you, Aaron Holloway. Yes, sir. What's up, bro? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you, Travis Looney. What's up, bro? I see you, Captain Spock. Yes, sir. So, all right. Let me, Brian. Zach, hey, you giving out my intel, bro. You be on it, Zach. Once I give you a little bit of a title, you on it, bro. We think almost the same. Nifty, what's up, bro? All right, so guys, I want to do a poll real quick. I'm gonna keep the audience engaged. I'm trying to think. Anybody got any advice? Any of the members, y'all got any advice on what I should do the poll on tonight? What poll shall I do tonight? Harambe, what's up, bro? Harambe says Walmart, Eckler. Anybody got any advice on what I should do? Yeah, Zach be on it. Anybody got any advice for the poll tonight before we get started? Zach Drew, what's up, bro? What's going on with you, man? Glad to see you in here. Will Hayes in the house. Yes, sir. We in here. We deep in here tonight. Yes, sir. Early. Okay, well, I'm gonna come up. I wanted y'all to do it. I wanted the members to be able to get y'all perks and y'all choose a title. I mean a poll. The poll question for the night. So I guess I'm gonna come up with one myself. What's going on, Timothy? Who do you think the Chiefs' #1 wide receiver will be? The #1 wide receiver to me for the Chiefs, I hate to say it, man, it's gonna be probably Hollywood Brown. Oh, is it? Your mic is having flare-ups. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Yes, sir, TZ. Yes, sir. Guys, let me know how the mic sounds. Okay, thank you, Captain. I hate to fold it back a little bit. Okay, let me see. Poll question. All right, let me see. Sounds good. Thank you, TZ. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna try to stick to tonight's title. I guess I'm gonna say
Timothy says reports are saying Rasheed.
Rasheed Rice won't be suspended this year. His trial is in late December. Uh-oh. Okay, that's going to be great. That's great information, Timothy. Thank you for letting me know that. That changed a lot. I do believe he's going to be the number one wide receiver then.
I
I
don't.
know it's going to be close. I still might say Hollywood Brown. I still might say Hollywood Brown.
Let's see.
What can I say? Give you advantage of
Fantasy football. Um, I see. I froze up a
a
little.
little bit
That hasn't happened since.
since I've been here.
Okay. What position? I can't think. 17 days. Big Wilson. 17 days away from the first.
First preseason game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um. Okay, I got it. There we go. I got it.
Coming up with the poll question. Anybody that's coming in the chat, what's going on? I'm trying to come up with a poll question for tonight. And I'm going to do that every so often during the live. I'm going to change the poll question up every so often in the live. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I see you, Charlene.
Okay. All right. Okay. And okay. All right. Are we about to start, guys?
I just want to get you to do this poll question.
Okay.
Let's get ready to go. Let's go.
Okay. So let me see.
See, make sure I shot at everybody in here. Well, I'm gonna go through Timothy. Timothy says, I feel teams are going to overprotect the long balls with Mahomes, which leaves the underneath stuff wide open. I feel Kelsey will have a bounce back year. I love that assessment. That's a great assessment. That's how I'm playing Pat Mahomes also. If I'm a defensive coordinator, that's why I'm going to play Pat Mahomes. I'm going to take away his deep ball, especially with the speed.
But I do believe
They're going to design plays for Marquise Brown, Rasheed Rice, if he's there, he doesn't get suspended. Kadarius Tony, Mr. Hankey. They're going to design plays for these guys to get open underneath. So you can't. Andy Reid is very good at that. You can't really take away anything that he does because he's going to counteract it. He's usually 2 or 3 steps ahead of the defensive coordinators.
so. Pat Mahomes have
Learn to play against the cover 2 man and cover 2 zone. But that's a great assessment. TZ says best dead zone running backs as a poll. I'm gonna do that for the next one, bro. Remind me of that, TZ. Remind me of that. Guys, if you're not a member, make sure you become a member of the channel. You get a lot of good perks. You get to join my listener leagues, guys. I got a listener league right now. Basketball, I got 3 open positions. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start the best ball, the free leagues that I'm gonna give out prizes for. But I don't want to oversaturate. I don't want to have too many leagues where people forget to sign up for certain leagues. So I'm trying to fill up this best ball dynasty league. This is like a special opportunity. People not really taking advantage of it. But it is what it is. I understand some people don't want to play an IDP, and I respect that.
Yep.
Big Will, remind me of that. We can do that one too. Should Ayuk be paid Amon-Ra money? That's another good one. We will do that. Guys, remind me the next time I do the poll, and probably about 10 or 15 minutes, remind me to do that one. Charlize Pacheco or ETN. Tomato. I'm going ETN. And Timothy said, do you think Tony becomes a fantasy relevant again? No, but I think he will have a couple boom weeks. Maybe he's a top 40 wide receiver.
Big Will says,
Could you put Ayuk on the Lions and do what Amara did? No, no, they're two different types of wide receivers. I think he would be solid, but two different wide receivers.
all right, let's begin.
So
I'm going to start
with the guy that's on the thumbnail, and it's going to be James Conner. Yes, guys, James Conner.
And the reason why
I believe that James Conner is going to give you an advantage is his ADP.
Now let's pull this up.
I got this sitting here.
James Conner ADP,
guys.
I didn't want to have a lot of
windows open on the internet, so that's why I didn't have it saved. So,
all right, let's look at this
ADP.
His ADP, guys.
Overall ADP is 87, and full PPR is running back 24. So just as a running back, he's running back 24 coming off the board. Guys, he's going to get the honey touches. Now listen, I love Trey Benson. Trey Benson can come in, especially if James Conner gets hurt, but he's going to have to beat out James Conner. There's no reason why they're going to sit James Conner when he has one of the best missed tackle rates in the NFL for the last 2 years. And he's already he's like 29 years old. A lot of people think James Conner 30. James Conner's not 30. He just went through some cancer treatments, and that kind of made people believe that he was older than what he was, because he came in the NFL a little bit later after he had to go through his cancer treatments. Guys, and I hate to say this, and I'm no disrespect to James Conner. If James Conner don't catch cancer, he's probably an elite running back. They used to call him the Terminator because Conner, right?
So
I believe that James Conner, guys, is a great value, and it gives you an advantage because you can get him as the running back 24 off the board and put him in the flex. And this guy is probably going to be a top 12 running back. He's been a top 5 running back out of the last 3 years. What? Maybe 3 times or twice. And this guy ain't even had 1,000 yards rushing. He's been getting goal line touches and having 10 plus rushing touchdowns and also catching the ball. This guy's been catching the ball about 40 times a game.
So, yes,
Trey Benson is a nice stash. Yes, Trey Benson is a nice guy to handcuff James Conner with, but he's going to have to play above and beyond to make them bench James Conner. They're not going to bench James Conner. Now, if James Conner's get hurt, you have a league winner.
You have a league winner. Let's see
here. And make sure I don't want to miss anybody questions. Let me scroll up a little bit. Zach said earlier, he said, my 5 would be Bijan, Breach, Saquon, Henry, A-Chain, or Gibbs. And those guys are elite guys. Those are easy must-have. And I did a bunch of videos on these. So I wanted to go to guys that I believe in, but not believe in like, hey, these are my top guys, right? The guys that I'm talking about are not my top guys, but these guys are great values, and they give you an advantage because they going to give you RB1 output in some weeks, right? And James Conner can do it all weeks, right? He's been that special. He's been a top 5 running back. But yes, those guys right there, I love those guys. 3 of those guys, 3 or 4 of those guys are in my top 5 rankings. I thought about doing a top 5 ranking videos, just giving y'all my rankings for top 5. But I'm like, y'all know this. A lot of my subscribers already know these guys.
Big Will says, what up, TD?
Hope the move went well. Get me a chip. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm going to get you a chip. Yes, sir. The move went well. I'm still moving. I still got stuff. Y'all see the video I did when I got my moving blankets in the back? I got my moving blankets in the back of my car. Still moving little ins and outs and stuff up to the house. Don't want to overdo everything. Don't want to lose anything. Zach Simmons says Zamir White is a must-have running back. Yes, he is. And I've been talking about him. He's one of my guys that I got in my top 12 rankings this year. So he's not on this list. But yes, he is a must-have. I mean, guys, anybody that you drafted is almost a must-have. But it's all about clickbait. And when I say clickbait, that means it's all about the algorithm. I put the must-have in there for people to click the video. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. I'm not gonna say here and cap. If I probably only got really 6 must-have guys at each position, but I have to put must-have to get people to click on the videos. So I have to reframe the question. Must-have guys that give you an advantage. Must-have guys that are PPR monsters. League-winning guys that come at the end of your draft. Like that's the game of YouTube. Zach Seaman says also James Cook for PPR must-have because he will be receiving a lot. Right. PPR monster. Great satellite back. Great satellite back. James Cook. And do y'all know what a satellite back is? A satellite back is a guy who's catching passes out of the backfield, and that's kind of his main job. That was Austin Eckler early in his career, Alvin Kamara, James Cook, those type of guys. All right, before I get to any more comments, I'm going to move on to my next guy. Right now, let's look at the poll. We got 69% says, does drafting a quarterback give you an advantage in fantasy football? And I meant to say actually does drafting a quarterback early. I'm sorry, I was rushing to that. Drafting a quarterback early give you an advantage. That's what I meant to say. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Let's go on to my next guy. And my next guy, this is Charlene's favorite, one of her favorite guys, and it's going to be Chuba Hubbard. Yes, Chuba Hubbard. Now, listen, I know a lot of you love Jonathan Brooks, and I don't blame you. But I'm not drafting any guy with a knee injury. I'm not doing it. I know you could talk about the Adrian Peterson, and you're right. You got to show me you at Adrian Peterson. You could talk about, all right, this next guy going to be a Mike Tyson. This next guy going to be a Michael Jordan. This next guy going to be a Kobe. This next guy going to be a Wayne Gretzky. You got to show me. I'm not going to sit here and go off of it every time you got some talent. I'm going to say you the next phenom. I'm not doing that. So I need to see Jonathan Brooks come off a knee injury and rush for 1,400 yards. Then I say, yep, he was it, and I was wrong, but I'm not betting on that, and I'm not stashing that. Now, could he get going in the 4th quadrant when he gets healthy? Yes. We thought that about Kendre Miller, and they tried to give Kendre Miller a role, but he never could get healthy. When you don't play early in the training camp, and then you come in, it's just hard. It's like you're playing behind the 8 ball. So I believe that I think Jonathan Brooks can get started slow, and I believe Chuba Hubbard can start fast, and I believe he can keep his role the whole season. Even if Jonathan Brooks is coming in and getting 10 carries, I think Chuba's going to be the #1 guy. He played really well last year. He played well. He was the best running back on his team. He beat out Miles Sanders, and a lot of you thought I was crazy. I don't hear nobody talking about Miles Sanders no more. Miles Sanders, I can't wait till I get me a soundboard. I'm gonna have all these sounds. Miles Sanders. I'm like, no, man. Kenneth Gainwell was better than Miles Sanders. Chuba Hubbard was better than Miles Sanders. Now, Miles Sanders is a decent running back now. So, Jonathan Brooks is better than Miles Sanders. I'm gonna make that prediction. I just don't think he's gonna beat out Chuba Hubbard this year. I think Chuba Hubbard played too well. He knows the offense, and also they want to run the ball a lot this year. All right, let me read out a couple more comments. Captain Spot, what's up, bruh? Aaron Holloway with the 100 symbol, guys. Let's spam the chat with the 100 symbol. Let me know that you support the channel. Let's spam the chat with the 100 symbol, guys. Fantasy football almost here. We almost there, guys. Make sure you sign up as a member so you can join my listener leagues. I got a best ball dynasty league, guys. That's cutting edge. That's the next thing to dynasty. Dynasty going to be best ball. I think dynasty is better played than best ball. I think people need to be able to have time to set up their redraft leagues, and dynasty just be able to use your drafting skills and kind of let the computer be your coach. And whoever play best goes into that slot. That's what I think. That's my 2 cents. Now, there's not always a skin a cat. So make sure you sign up for that best ball league, guys. It's going to be $25 to sign up. And the reason why I want to make it fun, I want people to have something nice to win. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to have free leagues, but it's not going to be dynasty. It's going to be redraft. And it's going to be free. You just got to be a member. You just got to be a member. And I'm going to have different tiers. So certain leagues, if you're a Phenom crew, you can get in all leagues, and you can win big time prizes. Now, if you are on a rookie tier, certain leagues is not going to be for you because it's going to be free leagues. So I'm not going to let you get in the league where I'm giving out a $200 gift card or something like that, right? And I'm going to let you know before we draft what that gift is going to be. I'm not going to wait to the end and tell you. I'm going to let you know what the gift's going to be. But if you're in the dollar tier, then it might be a $20 gift card or something like that, right? From Amazon or something like that. So make sure you sign up as a list for my listening leagues and become a member of the channel. All right. A couple more comments before I read out my next guy. And remind me, guys, I gotta redo my poll. I see you, Travis, always supporting the channel. Yes, sir.
Okay. Zach says Brian
Robinson is one of them. I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see, Zach. Maybe. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Harami, what's up, bro? Aaron Holloway says, what's good, TD? Yes, sir. Nifty in the building. Harami made a guess of Walmart Austin Eckler. Let's see. Maybe Chase Brown. Maybe.
Aaron Holloway says
Zach is on it. Zach Drew in the building. He said, what up, TD? Okay, so let's redo this poll. I'm going to end this poll and we're going to do it. And let me see. Let me go down to the chat and see if we got that in here. If anybody can remind me.
I'm going to let you know about that.
Timothy, just stay on the live. I don't want to get too far off my title and my content. But I will let you know, bro. Also, sign up for the Discord. I can let you know. All right, guys, what was that question?
What was that question?
Can y'all put it, one of y'all put it back in the chat. I'm going to put it up in the poll real quick. What y'all want for the next poll question. And preferably, I'm going with one of the members. That's something that you get for being a member.
Okay. Let's see. I'm waiting. Let's see here. The chat deep today, guys.
Yes, sir. I see you, Jamie, in the building. Jamie in here.
70 days. Okay, what do you think about Addison? I can't find the poll question.
It was a couple
of them. James says, what does
the poll mean? Of course, you need a quarterback. Right. I agree. I messed up, bro. I meant, should you draft a quarterback early? I made a mistake. I was trying to rush and get it in there.
Okay,
not Daniel. Okay, Harami says, squeeze the Commanders or Bengals backfield.
Okay, so I'm gonna move.
Let me go ahead and do this. I'm not gonna hold the live up with this.
Let me see. Let's see. What was the poll? Could you put Pacheco? Best dead zone running backs.
I can't do that as a poll because I gotta find the guys to put in there. Let's see. Hold up, because I'm slowing the live down. It's not good for the live.
Okay, let me see here. Should are you drafting dead zone
RBs in 2024?
That's what I'm gonna do. Are you drafting dead zone
running backs in 2024?
Are you drafting dead zone running backs in 2024? Okay, there we go. All right, that way I'm gonna get on with the content.
All right, let's move on. So my third guy that I want to talk about,
It's gonna be
Rico Dowdle from the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, guys, Rico Dowdle from the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I like Rico Dowdle and I think he's going to give you an advantage is because, guys, he's basically almost undrafted. Now, let's take a real true look at his ADP. Let's take a real true look at his ADP.
so
Rico Dowdle, guys, is running back 43 in full PPR. He's coming off the board as overall player in full PPR at 140. So, guys, that's almost undrafted depending on your league formats. Now, you might say, well, ain't Ezekiel Elliott there and Deuce Vaughn? Excuse me. Yes, those guys are there. But I'd rather take a shot on Rico Dowdle because I think he's the most explosive guy on that team. Now, Deuce Vaughn is explosive, but he's small. Pause. He's a smaller guy. So I think Rico, especially what he did a couple games last year before he got hurt, he had a couple 2-touchdown games. With Tony Pollard being there, I think Rico has a chance to be a top 24 running back. A chance. So I'm willing to take that, and I think he could give you an advantage where you can have an RB2 and you draft him as a flex, league dependent, if somebody get hurt type player. And he can end up being a top 24 guy, kind of like a Kyron Williams. He could be this year Kyron Williams. I said it here first. Rico Dowdle could be this year Kyron Williams. Now, is he going to catch passes like Kyron? Maybe not. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, I believe, is going to be a good first quadrant player where he's going to be getting goal line touches. But once Rico start breaking out long plays, they're going to give the ball to Rico. Kind of like Cam Akers. Remember Cam Akers had like, 15, 20 carries first game. Ezekiel Elliott can come out and get 15, 20 carries the first game or second game. And then Rico start having big plays like Kyron did, and Rico can take over this offense. Rico's more explosive. Deuce Vaughn can come and just be like a satellite back and catch a couple passes, maybe get 7 to 8 touches a game, do kickoff return and punt return. I think Deuce Vaughn is probably going to be the kick return, punt return guy.
so I like
Rico Dowdle, and I think he gives you advantage at his ADP.
again his ADP is running back 43
overall in full PPR, and running back 43 in PPR, and overall player 140 player coming off the board and overall. So that's great ADP. That's almost not being drafted.
Okay. What's going on, Isaac?
Isaac, I see you.
Okay. So
Let me see them go back up here. Answer corporate question.
questions. Okay, right now
Are you drafting dead zone running backs in 2024? People are saying yes.
people are saying yes. Okay. Zach says
Brian Robinson, one of them we talked about, and Robinson said, "What's up, bro? Yes, sir. Just want to find where I was at. Okay, what's going on? Will Hayes, what up, bro? Harambe says, what backfield would you rather squeeze, Washington or Cincy?
I'm gonna say
Cincy. And the reason why I'm gonna say Cincinnati is because I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, if they stay healthy, which that's a if, it's not like they real volatile, but they're a little volatile. They're gonna have more times to score in the green zone, and the more times you are in the green zone, the better your running backs are going to be 9 times out of 10 in fantasy football. So I'm going with the most octane offense. Like, I think this offense is going to be scoring a lot of points. So I'm going with Cincinnati over Washington. Now, listen, could Jaden Daniels come out there and kill and let Brian Robinson eat? Yes, that is possible. Can Austin Eckler go and catch a bunch of passes because Jaden Daniels is a young quarterback and he's going to be checking it down? Yes, that's very possible. But I'm going with a team who I think going to score the most points, and that's going to be Cincinnati. So I'd rather have Chase Brown or Zach Moss for those goal line touches and also some PPR satellite touches for Chase Brown.
That's a good question, bro.
Great question. Timothy says, "Hey man, what's up, Timothy? Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. This is cutting edge content. I appreciate everybody being here. I can tell fantasy football is getting close to it's deep in here tonight. It's deep in here tonight."
Timothy says,
"Hey man, he says, what do you think the Chiefs number one? Who do you think the Chiefs number one wide receiver will be?" I said Marquise Brown, but I heard some great news where Rashee Rice might not get suspended. And even if he doesn't get suspended, I still think Marquise Brown is going to be, because they said he's having a good camp. Marquise Brown is fast. Pat Mahomes is really good with those type of wide receivers. I mean, he can
do a lot with
wide receivers who got a little bit of upside. I can believe Marquise Brown can end up being top 12 just because of his speed and his
veteran savviness. So I'm gonna go with Marquise
Brown. I think Rashee Rice will be okay. I'm okay with taking him. I'm still a little bit nervous. I don't know if maybe they treat him a little bit different
because of what he went through. I don't know.
Rashee Rice is gifted. He's not a down the field guy that much. He's more like a yak guy, like get the ball to him in open space and he make guys miss. That's how he played last year. But I think Marquise Brown can going to hit people with some deep plays.
Some big plays. Okay,
Timothy says, I think Rashee Rice. Gotcha. I respect that.
TZ says, another
week closer to football. Yes, sir.
Let's
see here.
Harambe says, sounds
good. Appreciate that, Harambe. Timothy says, reports are saying that Rashee Rice won't be suspended this year. His trial is in late December. That's woo.
That's really great news
right there. That's top news right there. That moves his ADP up 10 rounds. For me,
it moves his ADP up. I might take him
now in the 5th or 6th round now.
I might take him in the
5th to 6th rounds, especially if I got Pat Mahomes.
Timothy says
that can affect fantasy values. Rashee might be a value pick now. Yes, Timothy Kelly. Hey, Timothy, you in here? You preaching, bro? You preaching? Yes, sir.
Charlie says, what do you
think about Addison? I wasn't drafting him anyway, but now knowing what's going on with Rashee Rice, he probably won't have his trial this year, so he probably won't get suspended this year. So still take him if you believe in him, but know that his suspension could come next year. And just to talk about it, listen, guys, ladies, these guys make mistakes. You can't put yourself in these guys' shoes. If you had $2 or $3 million, would you buy you a new Mustang and speed on the highway and get a ticket for going 20 miles per hour over the speed limit? You could go down for that.
Excuse me. That could happen to you. So you got to give these
guys a break. They're young. Their testosterone is high. They're going to make mistakes, and it's okay as long as they don't do anything crazy. Even I feel bad for Henry Ruggs, and I feel worse for the family. Like that, what happened with the family, that was terrible. He hit somebody 100 miles per hour and they died. So first of all, I want to give condolence to that. But I also felt bad for Henry Ruggs too, because he was just speeding.
He didn't have a gun and rob a
bank. He wasn't buying drugs. He wasn't selling drugs to kids.
Right, so that's different.
People go, we all got kids. Don't you know they're gonna make mistakes? You just pray that it's not a huge mistake, right? That's all. It's nothing you can do. You can be a perfect parent, and stuff gonna happen. So don't try to like vilify these guys. Moving forward, I want to talk about I'm gonna do a couple more of these comments before I read out my next two guys. Big Will says 17 days away from the first preseason game. Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Timothy says,
I feel teams are going to overprotect the long balls from Mahomes. I did that one already, but I'm going to talk about it again. He says, which leaves the underneath stuff wide open. I feel Kelsey will have a bounce back year. Bruh, it's not about Kelsey. Ain't nothing wrong with Kelsey. It's just, why would they run him into the ground and get him hurt early in the season? That's why they quit playing him. They didn't quit playing him because something was wrong with Travis Kelce, or Taylor Swift came down there and said, Andy Reid, don't play my man. What happened was they didn't want to get Travis Kelce hurt. They wanted to win that playoff game. So that's why I'm not drafting a lot of Kansas City Chiefs, because I believe they're gonna take their foot off the gas early in this. I mean, like late in the season in the fourth quadrant. That's why. So I believe Travis Kelce's gonna start off fast, and then once they get like 13-3, he kind of like, you know what, we good. I might play first and second quarter, and then I'm kind of just gonna let Noah Gray come in.
Um. Yep, we did the best.
TG says best dead zone running backs as a poll. That's a good one. Captain Spock says when Hawk comes back, Addison will be the number 3 target on the team with a rookie quarterback. I'm not excited about it. I haven't been excited about him. I think he's a good talent, but I'm not excited about it. I don't think he's going to break out with a young quarterback. Maybe Sam Darnold could be good for him, and maybe he does do well with Sam Darnold.
See, and I don't listen.
I'm not a big Hawk can play. He's a good tight end. When you beside Justin Jefferson, you're gonna eat. So I believe Hawk is just gonna be a good tight end because of the weapons that he beside of. I like more like super talented tight ends. That's just me. But Hawk, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Hawk is chopped liver. He's not.
He's a good guy to be beside
Justin Jefferson. But again, he's coming off a knee injury. I'm not drafting any guys coming off a knee injury. That's just me.
You
gotta lock your doors at your house sometimes, right? You can't go for anything, right? You gotta secure yourself some type of way. I can't say, well, I draft. Oh, who's up? Oh, I draft him. And Nick Chubb, he's ready. I'm drafting him. You can't draft everybody. I'm not drafting it. Some guys, I'm gonna say, no, it's a no for me this year. It's a no for me. And I'm not telling you who to say no to. You got to make your mind up. I'm not drafting players who got knee injuries. Now, if you got like Tank Dell, I draft Tank Dell. That's not a knee injury. That's like an ankle. He broke like a bone in his ankle, which is not really too bad for a young man. You can come back off of that better than a knee. A knee reconstruction surgery? No, I'm not drafting anybody off a knee reconstruction surgery. I need to see the new science. I know we in 2024. Maybe that changed in a couple of years where guys are coming back off knee injuries like that. Maybe that's true. Maybe guys come back off Achilles injuries. But I'm not drafting no J.K. Dobbins, none of these guys with knee injuries. Last comment before I get to my next guy is going to be Big Will says, okay, well, Poe should Ayuk be paid Amon-Ra money? Remind me to do that, Big Will. Remind me to do that one. Last one, Charlene says Pacheco, ETN. I think I did that one, but I'm going with ETN over Pacheco. All right, so let's go to my next guy. My next guy is going to be Brian Robinson. Congratulations, Zach Seaman. Hey, you killed it. You always get 80% of the players when I do titles, man. It's crazy, man. I'm surprised. You kill it almost every time, bro. You always know whatever I'm trying to teach, you own it. So shout out to my loyal subscriber, Zach Seaman. But yeah, Brian Robinson, guys. He's getting the goal line touches. That's kind of what a decision factor comes in with me when I'm looking for late round running backs. Guys is gonna give me advantage. Are you getting the honey touches, which is the goal line touches? I don't care like how many passes you catching or none of that. James Conner showed me 2 or 3 years ago, and I had him on the team, just happened to have him. He was a top 5 RB. Why? He had like 17, 18 touchdowns.
So he was a top 5 guy.
Had like 800-900 yards. That's it. Caught about 40, 50 passes. That's it. But
them honey touches.
Brian Robinson getting them. Austin Eckler, he could get a couple, but I believe having Brian Robinson and let Antonio Gibson go shows that Brian Robinson is going to get the first dibs at the goal line touchdown in the honey zone. So that's why I like Brian Robinson. I think he's advantaged this year.
I'm going to get to a couple more questions.
Questions.
Let's look at his
ADP, though. Let's look at Brian Robinson ADP. I've been looking at everybody else for ADP. Let's look at Brian Robinson ADP.
Okay. Okay, then this thing is acting funny. All right. There we go. All right, let's look at his ADP. So Brian Robinson
ADP, guys, in full PPR, he's number 30 running back coming off the board. He's number 30 running back coming off the board. And overall player, as far as full PPR, he's 105. He's the 105th player coming off the board.
So
So
I think that's great,
value.
great value. You can put him in a flex play.
Whenever you have a running back who's getting goal line touches as a flex play in fantasy football, I think that's how you win leagues. I think you beat people in their flexes. When you got a good quarterback, they got a good quarterback, they got good running backs, they got good wide receivers. You trying to beat them in the flexes. So you got to make these cutting edge content type plays and draft strategies with these type of guys. That's why I wanted to say it's an advantage. And you getting this guy, and he can be in the flex as your RB4 or RB3,
Goal line touches.
possibly top 12 a couple times, maybe top 5. Who knows? You know how fantasy football goes, right? Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content.
All right.
Let's see.
Timothy said,
Do you think Tony becomes fantasy relevant? I did that one time, but I answered that question. I think he's going to be decent. He's playing with Pat Mahomes. If he don't get cut, and if he starts off playing bad in camp, he's going to get cut. So he got to make it out of camp. Could you put Ayuk on the Lions and do what Amon-Ra did? No, you can't. Amon-Ra's special. Amon-Ra has that killer instinct like Antonio Brown, Kobe. He has the Black Mamba type mentality. He's special. There's only two. Probably the best work ethic of any guy we ever heard is probably Kobe. It might be a few guys out there that we never heard about that got great work ethic. But Kobe, we know what his work ethic is. Like 2 or 3 times a day, never going to the club, not drinking, not partying. Very, very few times of it in his career.
and Amon-Ra is on that
Type of level. Very, very serious.
So I don't think so.
So I think Ayuk is a solid player. I think he's a great route runner. I think he's a good player.
Jamie,
What's up, bro? He says, what up, bro? And he said, what do you mean by the poll? Of course you need a quarterback. Right, and I messed up on the poll. Captain says, Connor was number 1 broken tackles carry. Right, that's what I said, and missed tackle rate. Number 6 in rushing yards and only 13 games. Right, and that's enough to be, because listen, a lot of you looking to draft players to be, oh man, he was the number 1 running back 15 times each week. Bruh, that ain't happening. You're going to have injuries. All you can hope for, man, is the guy, when he out there on the field, he balls out for you. That's going to put you in the bit. Look at Kyle Williams missed 3 or 4 games. But when he was out there, he was a league winner. And that's what James Conner is. I don't need James Conner to be CMC and be healthy every single game. That's not what he is. Some guys, especially now, when I'm going to draft him in the first round, knowing that he's going to get hurt? No. That's why I don't draft CMC. Not saying he's injury prone, but he could go down because of the volume that he's had throughout his career. But taking James Conner with the ADP that he's going is killer. So if he only plays 7 games, who cares? Move on to the next guy. And that's why I'm trying to teach y'all about that. I don't care nothing about like Christian Watson hamstring injury because of the ADP value. I'm not drafting him in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round. Christian Watson did hurt me in a few redraft leagues last year because I took him a little higher, and that's different. But I'm still okay with it. I know he was volatile. James Conner, I know he's very volatile, but when he's out on the field, he's getting goal line touches and he's getting catches on an offense that I do trust. So yeah, he says number 5 in yards per carry, top 10 in broken tackles. 2023 was his best year, and he is still a stud even at 29 years old. Come on, Captain Spock. Come on. Yes, sir. A lot of people don't think I know nothing about no stats. I didn't know, but I know I see certain things as automatically registered in my head. That's why I said I know he was number 1 in broken tackles. And something just kind of off topic a little bit. Another guy that I really like is Tyrone Tracy. He's not on this video on my list, but he was number 1 in college with broken tackles, playing on Purdue, playing against Michigan. He was breaking tackles against Michigan. They got 4 or 5 first-round picks on that team. So just wanted to let y'all know that. That's a really good indicator. That's almost might be the best indicator to me as an elite player is broken tackles. That's elite.
That's elite. You can do something. Even if they can't catch, if they can break tackles, you can
Find a place to put them on a football field. That's elite.
RG
In the building. What's up, bruh? RG is in one of my listener leagues, guys. He's in one of my listener leagues. Also, RG, hit me up, man. I got a new best ball league, man. $25, bruh. That's what it costs. Anybody who's a member, you can get in there. All you gotta do is sign up on the Discord. The Discord is free once you are a member. And then you can compete against me and beat me and brag about beating me or whooping me in a trade. And then I'm gonna bring you up. If you're the highest scoring in the league, I'm gonna bring you up for the live. I'm gonna bring you up for a live. Timothy says, I like James Conner, but I also like Trey Benson. Yes, I think both of these guys, I think you gotta have both because James Conner is volatile. Jamie says, when was the last time James Conner finished a full season? I've been grabbing him late, but also make sure I draft Benson. Right. Agreed. Timothy said, I totally agree. I do too. TZ says, get Benson later. Now you have the whole backfield. Right. Facts.
It's called, I ain't calling
Calling it a squeeze, but because I don't think, well, you know what? Benson might play with Conner, but I don't know if he's going to get enough points. So you know what, guys? I stand corrected. This is a squeeze. The difference between a squeeze and a handcuff. Remember, I'm one of the first channels to break it down this way. Not saying I'm right and this is something special and I should get $1 million for a patent, but this is how I look at it. A squeeze is both of these guys are going to play and both of these guys can have top 12 weeks at any time. They can do it together or they can do it individually. So I would say Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery is a squeeze. You can play both of them together. You can draft both of them. You can whatever. Now, a handcuff is a guy that he ain't getting in the game and he ain't going to be fantasy valuable unless the other person get hurt. That's the difference between a squeeze and a handcuff. A lot of people don't tell you that. I'm one of the first guys to tell you, listen, play both guys together. So when you start seeing these videos and they telling you, hey, play this player and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, y'all tell them, say, listen, hey, man, I like your content. Fantasy Good Sports, he been said that. He said that last year, that he was playing both of these guys together. I do it with wide receivers. If I like that, I don't do it with every wide receiver, number one, number two. I'm not doing it with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Not saying it ain't going to work. I'm not doing it. But with Jalen Water and Tyreek Hill, that's not a squeeze. That's receivers, but I like that stack. I'm playing both of them together because the other one of them going to eat. If you take Tyreek Hill away, which you cannot do, but if you happen to do it, Water will have a crazy game, 180 yards. I also like Devon H.A., but that's another video. I'm not going to get off on a tangent. I'm not going to get off on a tangent with that.
Okay. Harami says when
Conner is on the field, he is legit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Harami, preach. Preach. Charlie says, do you believe in cuffing? Listen, I was talking about that earlier. Charlene says, do you believe in cuffing? It all depends on the situation.
Certain guys,
I don't like really cuff guys. Cuff guys are sometimes, unless they like a rookie and nobody don't know nothing about them, like Audric Estime, I might cuff him, right? Well, yeah, I might grab him and cuff him for Javonte Williams because I believe that Javonte could be volatile and maybe Audric can come and have a good year. But usually if I know what you are, I'm not cuffing you because usually you like an Alexander Madison and I don't want to play you in fantasy just because you got the, you're going to get more carries because they probably not going to really give you the goal line touches like that. If they was going to give you the goal line touches 9 times out of 10, you was going to already be on the team or playing more. Zamir White last year was actually a decent cuff. He was the guy because they weren't giving him no carries like that with Josh Jacobs. And then at the end, they started doing it.
So, a Zamir White
type cuff, yes. Alexander Madison, no. I'm not looking to cuff a guy like that. I'm trying to think of a guy that I might be okay with cuffing. I'm just trying to think.
Let me see. Let me look.
CMC. I do believe that to have his backup is a nice cuff. I do believe to have CMC's backup is a nice cuff. So Isaac Garendo or Elijah Mitchell, I do believe that's an okay cuff. At the end, I'm picking them up off waiver wires, and then I'm gonna drop them next week if nothing happens. That tight.
Let's see. What's another good cuff? Maybe Tyler Algier.
Because Bijan Robinson, I think that's not a squeeze. Tyler Allgeier's not going to play that much this year. Last year, he kind of was a squeeze. This year, I don't think so. But I think he's a good cuff. So that's 2 cuffs. You know, I'm going to do a video on cuffs. That's a good topic, Charlene. I'm going to look for one more. Maybe I might do as Roshan Johnson. DeAndre Swift, I don't trust him to stay healthy the whole season. So maybe
Roshan Johnson.
All right. I'm going to do a couple more questions, and then I'm going to read off my last guy here. Zach Siemens says, Najee Harris. I don't think he's a handcuff. I think that's a squeeze. Him and Jalen Warren both going to play. They both going to play. So I think you got to get both of these guys and squeeze it. Pause.
Timothy says,
to me, I am drafting Derrick Henry all day at his ADP value. I agree. Derrick Henry is a great ADP value in the second round this year, and he's on a better offense. Like, this is probably the best offense that he ever played on. I think Derrick Henry is going to have 15 to 20 rushing touchdowns.
Charlie says, I also
love Kyron and Corn combo. Right. That's a good one. That could be a cuff, because I don't know how much Corn's going to really play with Kyron. There's no way that they just take Kyron carries after what he did last year, where he was one of the best running backs in the league. That's going to be tough for all of a sudden it's a 50-50 split. That just don't make sense to me. That do not, like, it would take Barry Sanders or somebody to make them, like, if Kyron's hurt, then yes, all else, all things is off then at that point in time. But I don't think Kyron's going to be the 70% guy until he gets hurt.
Unless Corm is just
superb. Every time he's touching the ball, he's killing it.
That's the only way to me. Zach says it depends
on if it's single quarterback or super flex for the pole position. Right. Facts. That matters too about quarterbacks.
Okay. Charlene, she loves
Hubbard. She says, give me Hubbard all day. Yes, sir. And TG says, Chuba is going to ball out and Bryce Young going to have a bounce back. Yeah, right. Bryce Young going to be top 12, top 14 fringe. That's not great in fantasy football, but it's solid. And he's going to be he's a solid quarterback. Captain Spock says, I'm a Chuba from Aruba and I play the tuba. Nice rhyming, bruh. Nice rhyming. Timothy says, I hate that Miles Sanders didn't work out. I won with him the year earlier. Yeah. But he struggled in the Super Bowl, and that's kind of what got him out of there. Because they was like, man, you can't even play. We benched him in the Super Bowl.
Shawty says, love some
Curtis. So some courtesy, Curtis. All right, let's read out this last guy. I'm gonna redo the. I gotta think of what was that pole position. No, you know what? I'm gonna do a tomato. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some tomatoes while we here. I'm gonna do
Amon-Ra
St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk. I think that's too easy. No, I'm gonna do Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson. That's what I'm gonna do. So we got 31 votes. That's good, guys. 31 votes. Are you drafting a dead zone running back in 2024? People say yes. The dead zone is hitting this year. We got 32 votes. Let's get the likes up, fellas.
Let's get the likes up.
Okay, so let me change this poll.
And I'm going to make a new
poll, and I'm going to do...
I'm going to put tomato. Tomato versus tomato. That's what
I'm going to be doing. That's going to be my polls from now on, guys. I think that's how I'm going to do that. All right.
And Justin Jefferson. All right. Okay. So let's do this last one.
So my last guy that I believe, guys, gives you an advantage in fantasy football, the running back that I believe gives you an advantage, is going to be Rhamondre Stevenson. Yes, guys, Rhamondre Stevenson. Now, listen, guys, about a month ago, before he got that deal, I was fading Rhamondre. I'm like, I didn't know what this team was going to do. I didn't know if they could release him. I didn't know what they was going to do. I know Rhamondre could play. I know he was 240, 250 pounds, got nimble feet, can catch, run between the tackles really good. Only thing he need to work on is a little bit more power in the green zone area. But they gave him a nice deal. This is the New England. They never paid running back. So they said, you know what, Bill, we're going to start paying some of our guys. Bill didn't pay nobody but Tom, and he lowballed Tom. And all that money went to, I don't know who got that money. I mean, it's a lot of money they left on the table. Then you're going to play Jonnu Smith and all these other guys later in your career. And these guys didn't even do anything for you, but you couldn't pay Tom. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Rhamondre Stevenson, to me, guys, is a league winner, an advantage. And you might say, well, that's ugly, that's nasty. Well, guess what, guys? Sometimes you can find a girlfriend in the hood that's a great wife. They just came up tough. They just don't have a lot of money. So this offense might not be great with a lot of weapons, but guess what? They're going to rely on Rhamondre Stevenson. So they're going to win some games. This is a professional team. So I'm going to go with the volume over the value. So you might get a guy like a David Montgomery. I'd rather take Rhamondre Stevenson over David Montgomery. And the reason why, because Rhamondre is probably going to get 20 touches every single game.
Now, Antonio
Gibson's
Gibson.
going to come in and catch some passes, but he's not going to be the goal line back. Antonio Gibson is going to be like the James White type guy. But he's 230 pounds, but he's going to be like a James White pass catching guy. So I think Rhamondre is going to be probably lead the league in touches, because this
This is what you do when you have a young,
Drake May,
right? When you have a young,
young quarterback and you are trying to bridge until you get more talent, then you run the running back a lot. And that's why I'm taking Rhamondre Stevenson. I think this guy is going to be a great value. He's going to have some big games, and he could be a top 5 running back. He has the potential to be a top 5 running back. So right now, let's look at his ADP.
and this is our fantasy pro.
So I'm looking at this, y'all, so y'all can go to Fantasy Pros yourself and look at this.
Okay. Let's look at his ADP right here, guys. So his ADP is
So in full PPR, he's the 19th running back coming off the board. Now, I would say about a month ago, it was probably the 25th running back, or maybe a whole round. It might even been 30. But right now, he's the 19th running back coming off the board. And overall PPR, just as player, he's the 79th player. So this is a RB2, possibly flex. If you get him as a flex, I think you killed it. And I think you can get him as a flex play. These are guys that you can get at flex plays. And these can be RB2s and RB1s. So you're going to be winning the flex. And that's how you beat a good opponent. You got to have better flex. You got to be able to cheat the flex. Instead of having a Tim Patrick at your flex, or putting a backup tight end in your flex, or having a third wide receiver in your flex, or playing a rookie that you don't know what's going to happen, I'd rather have Rhamondre Stevenson in my flex than to have Brian Thomas. And I love Brian Thomas, but I'm drafting Brian Thomas, but I would rather have Rhamondre Stevenson in my flex over Brian Thomas, who's a rookie wide receiver, and I don't know what he's going to do. But I know but I know Rhamondre Stevenson is going to be getting 15 to 20 touches
every single game. So I love Rhamondre. So all right.
So let's go to the chat.
Amon-Ra
winning over Justin Jefferson. Wow, this is cutting edge content. That's why I love, guys. I love this community. The fantasy good sports community.
Yes, appreciate that.
Zach, y'all showing support with the 100. Harambe, yes, sir. Y'all guys are always following the chat, always listening to what I'm saying, and I appreciate y'all guys. I can't tell y'all, I don't know what to say to show y'all the appreciation. I appreciate my subscribers. That's why I read everybody's question. I know I had a question the other day. They said, TD, what are you going to do when you get all this volume and everybody's super chatting? It's probably going to change because I'm going to have to get to the money. I'm going to have to get to the super chats. But right now, I'm going to try to get to everybody's comments. Most of the time, I'm going to try to get to everybody's comments. TZ says, Chuba was better in college than Brooks. To AMD, to my eyeball test, you just a good runner, fast, and finds holes, pause. Right.
Okay, let me see, guys. Let me know, guys.
With the sound, if the sound start messing up, I gotta plug my phone is starting to go dead. I gotta plug the charger in now. But yeah, I think Chuba, Chuba was nasty at Oklahoma State. Chuba was like, didn't Chuba go for about 2,000 yards at Oklahoma State? And it is the Big 12. It is the Big 12. So was Texas as the Big 12. So Big 12 usually have running backs to go crazy because they don't play a lot of defense. But you still got to give some respect. B. John Robinson played in the Big 12. So, but Chuba was eating at Oklahoma State. I think Chuba was there, and B. John wasn't the guy in the Big 12. B. John was like a young sophomore, maybe young freshman. I think it was a young sophomore at that time. And Chuba was eating.
Then I think the next year
He came back, he had an injury, and he didn't get to do
what he did, and that's why they hurt his draft stock. But
Chuba was gonna go top 5, according to that one year when he boom was the number 1 running back in the country in rushing yards. So yeah,
I think Chuba's getting better.
too.
Timothy says,
I never played Dynasty. How does that work? Is it like future picks? Yeah, Dynasty is like a GM. You trading picks, you drafting, you keep your guys. It's like a keeper league, but you keeping your guys the whole time.
So
that's the main thing.
Guys, I'm on the clock.
I just seen a guy post a comment that I'm on the clock. I need to be picking, but I'm gonna finish this live. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So I just want to know. That's why I froze up. But yes, man, you need to sign up as a member, Timothy. The link I posted the link. I pinned that link in the top of the comments section. So become a member, bro. It ain't up but $1 a month, and you can get into some of my listener leagues, Dynasty and Redraft. Amara still winning the vote. Amara still winning the vote, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe. I thought people was gonna go with Justin Jefferson.
Charlene says
Jerome Ford too. Right, Jerome Ford. You know what? That's the guy. I missed him. You got me right there. I should have had him on. Jerome Ford is a great value. You right, Charlene. Preach. Jerome Ford is a great value, guys. He's a fantastic value. Nick Chubb, they said he looked good today. I gotta see that. Listen, I love Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a monster. Very humble guy, spiritual guy, loves God. I'm not being funny or facetious with that. He's a very honorable guy. Everybody can tell you he's a Chubb. Chubbs are like that. They came up different. But that knee injury was nasty, and that's the second injury to that same knee.
I can't. I'm not
taking. Not Daniel says, should you prioritize wide receiver or running back? Bro, I think it depends. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you what you should depend on, but I would say if it's all equal, I'm taking Tyreek over CMC. Hopefully that makes sense. So we know CMC is special. We know Tyreek is special. And if neither one of them is really gonna get hurt, you're not worried about an injury, it's in a vacuum, I'm going with the wide receiver the way the game is played now, even with CMC. So to me, I'm going with the wide receiver, but I'm taking a lot of running backs in my draft, especially when I'm at the 1-6 all the way up to the 112. And the reason why I'm doing that is because of the value. I'm getting Breach. I know y'all say Breece, but I'm getting Breach. I'm getting Saquon Barkley. I'm getting B. John Robinson. And those are guys of great value. I'm not going to take Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase over those guys this year. I'm taking those running backs right there. But mostly, and I'm also waiting. I'm fading CMC. So if he does fall to me at the 1-5 or 1-6, I take CMC there. But mostly early, I'm taking Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably Amon-Ra over CeeDee Lamb. Those are my first 3 picks this year. Harami says squeeze the Commanders or Bengals backfield. Okay, I did that now already. I'm squeezing the Bengals. TZ says Commanders easy. Juan, what's going on, Juan? He says Najee contract year must have. Right, Najee is a guy. Only thing that he's on the squeeze backfield, so that's why he's not on this list. But I want Jalen Warren. If I get Jalen Warren, I'm getting Najee. Vice versa. It's a squeeze tandem. Timothy says, I prioritize running back in most situations. Running backs are a thin position group that are often injured, right? And that's why I don't draft them a lot, but I will if the value is there. So to me, it's all about the what's on the board from year to year, man. I'm not gonna sit there and say because I'm a zero RB. I like to do the zero RB build because usually I get better flexes when I do zero RB build. My top three players usually are better when I go wide receivers because usually it's hard to get an old school CMC, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor type stack. But you can get a Amon-Ra. It was times where you can get an Amon-Ra, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb stack. There's been times where you can get that type. So that's why I'm usually going with wide receivers to try to win in the flex. Let's see.
All right, let's go up. I see you, Ro.
Mr. Anderson, what's going on? Otis, I see you, Otis, in the building.
Okay. Timothy says,
Okay, we did that one. Yeah, Perez. Okay, running backs from the 10 position that are off the injury. And Juan says Walker for me. Which Walker you talking about? You like Kenneth Walker? You like Kenneth Walker? Not Daniel says, what's the highest pick you drafting Gibbs? Probably at the 112 2-1. 112 2-1. I'm taking Devon A Chain over him at this point in time right now. But I would say 112 and 2-1.
not Daniel.
So what's the dead zone? The dead zone, bruh, is after B. John, all the top running backs are gone. And then Derrick Henry and Saquon are gone. They're like the top 7 running backs. When you get to 8, 9, 10, 11, those guys are kind of like dead zone. Those are like Rhamondre Stevenson, James Conner, which he's he's going late, but he's been a dead zone running back. Kenneth Walker, those guys. They not the top guys that everybody want, but people are drafting just because they starting. So those are dead zone guys. And your dead zone guy can be different than another guy's dead zone. Just depend on your rankings. TZ says yes. If I go wide receivers first round.
Right.
He says live cast my pick. I see you, bro. Zach says it depends on the running back and value. Right. It depends on the running back and the value. Right. Isaac, what's up, bro? How you doing? Charlene says love Skywalker and Charbonnet combo. Right. I'm squeezing that combo. I'm squeezing Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. That's a squeeze. Both of those guys are going to be playing the whole game. And depending on who get more, we don't know. That's why I call it squeeze. That way, whatever happens, you're going to have the starter or you're going to have both guys who are going to be good for you all year. No matter what happens, you're going to be okay. It's not just the, yep. I said squeeze that juice, pause. Yep. TZ says, would you go Ezekiel Elliott and Rico? Yeah, you can do that because Ezekiel Elliott is going late. But I'm okay with just getting Rico and not letting Ezekiel go if you got a good team. But yes, if you can, I don't think that's a priority. I don't think you should. Oh, I gotta get Zeke because I got Rico or vice versa. I don't think those guys' value is high enough to try to do that. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears is one. That's a big time squeeze. I don't want one without the other. I want both guys to see what's going to happen. Pause. Dowdle can be Tony Pollard in 2022 and in 2024. So when Tony Pollard balled out in 2022, he's saying Rico Dowdle can be that in 2024. Charlene says my lowest ADP player is Ford. Right, Ford is good. He's a great ADP. Juan says Kenneth Walker in the 4th seems like a solid pick. Yeah, that's a dead zone running back. I'm not high on him, man. I'm not saying that because he sucks or anything. I'm just not that high on Kenneth Walker. I just think Zach Charbonnet can catch passes. I don't think he blocks good for his quarterback. I think he's very explosive. He's one of the most explosive running backs as far as with the ball in his hand in the league. If he get a crease, he can take it. He's running a 4-4, low 4-4, so he could take it to the house on you for 50 to 60 yards out. But do I believe he's going to be on the field at all times? Now, if this offense is elite and he gets a lot of green zone touches, he could be top 5. And Charbonnet can just be a guy who can get like a floor of 8 to 10 points, catching that passes a few times a game. But that's ifs and ands. So like I said, ain't no player bad. I think as a flex, I would rather have him as a flex play on my team if I got him. I don't want him as an RB1 or RB2. Now, if he's a zero RB guy and he's my first running back off the board, that's okay. If I got 3 killer wide receivers and a tight end, and then I get Kenneth Walker, I think that's a great value. Isaac says A-Chain for sure. Yes, sir. I love A-Chain. Saint Steven, what's going on, Saint Steven? Subscribe to the channel if you're new, bro. Glad to see you here, Saint Steven. Full PPR auction league. Would you keep A-Chain for $1 or Laporta for $1? 3-year keeper. I'm keeping A-Chain for $1. You can find another tight end. I'm keeping A-Chain. Saint Stevenson, damn, you think so? Yes, sir, bro. Isaac asked him, was it tight end premium? He was like, no, it's not. Let's see. Mr. Anderson, what's up, bro? Otis says, what's a dead zone running back? Sorry if I sound like a novice. No, you good, bro. A dead zone running back, again, is a guy that after the top 7 or 8 running backs are gone, then a lot of people are just drafting running backs just because they are starting on the team, and so they are dead zone running backs. Kind of like you taking a guy just to draft him just because he's starting. Do you think he's special? No. Do you think he's going to be a league winner? No, but you draft him because he's starting. That's a dead zone running back. And a lot of people like to draft a wide receiver, even on a losing team, over drafting a running back who's a dead zone running back guy. Isaiah Pacheco used to be a dead zone running back guy. So all dead zone running back guys aren't bad picks. Some of them do come out of that dead zone. They do come out the grave. So I like dead zone running backs because I like drafting wide receivers heavy, and I like to take my shot on dead zone running backs most years. This year I'm getting Bijan and Breach in the first round from 1/6 to 112. I'm picking them there a lot, and I'm getting Bijan and Breach, and Saquon and A-Chain and Jahmyr Gibbs. Talking a little about George Kittle. Is he elite? Could he be a breakout star? No, man. He just gonna be a guy where he gonna give you some boom every 3 to 4 weeks. He gonna boom. That's what he is. So I take, if I wait late on a tight end and get George Kittle, I'm fine with that. That's what George Kittle is. He ain't no guy who's gonna be getting hyper targeted every week. Too many mouths to feed on that offense. But I'd rather take George Kittle if I wait late on tight end. I think that's a tremendous value when you stud your team out and you get George Kittle. Because when he booms and your other guys boom, you're going to win the week. And even if he don't boom, you feel okay because it's George Kittle. He's on the elite offense. So that's what George Kittle is to me. I don't think he's a breakout star. I think David Njoku is a breakout star. St. Steven says, I'll watch more A-Chain film again. Yes, A-Chain special. He just got to stay healthy. Isaac says, yeah, both are great, but tight end's not high on my priorities. A-Chain gained some weight, too. Facts. Mr. Anderson said, how you feel about Pacheco and ETN this season? Who you like out of those two? All right, let me see. Get one commercial. I like ETN over Pacheco all day. I'm taking ETN over Pacheco all day. He's just more explosive. A lot of people love Pacheco, man. I just don't think that Pacheco is a go-to guy on this team. I think they use him when they need him in cold games. I don't think Pacheco is getting, we're down there, give him to Pacheco. Bruh, they might get down there and then play action to Pacheco and throw it to Travis or throw it to Xavier Worthy. Only person that you can count on this offense when they get in the green zone is Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes. Other than that, bro, everybody is up for grabs. You can't trust nobody else on this offense. That's how I feel. Now, I'm not saying Pacheco is a bad player because guess what? He is a quadrant monster. In that 4th quadrant, they usually start running the ball. 3rd quadrant, in them cold games, Pacheco hit. He have big fantasy football championship weeks, like week 17, week 18, depending on your league format. Pacheco is a beast. But I'm not taking him to be a top 5, top 12 guy. I'd rather take somebody with more upside. I think he's just a safe 4th quadrant guy. And if you can get him as your RB3, me personally, I'm okay with it. I'm not really drafting him there, but I'll be okay with him as an RB3 guy. Steven says, I normally agree, but I can have the tight end 1 to 3 years and assuming. Yeah, but I don't think Laporta is going to be a monster like Travis Kelce. So I would rather go in and have an A-Chain where you might have the elite guy on one of the best offenses ever. And I think the Miami Dolphins can be one of the best offenses ever. They got so many weapons on that team. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Charlene says, love Josh Gordon, wasted talent. Yeah, I don't think it was wasted talent. The NFL sold him short. They don't even test for marijuana anymore like that. And they was hard on Josh Gordon coming up. So he was before his time. But I understand what you mean when you say wasted talent. He didn't get to fulfill his destiny. Saint Steven says, I did hear A-Chain bulked up the off season though. Right. Isaac says A-Chain ADP is higher than Laporta. Right. Saint Steven says, thanks, Isaac. I relook at A-Chain. Edit Nation, what's up, bro? He says, name something for an edit. Name something for an edit. The Donald Trump situation. I think that's something to be edited. Appreciate you being here, bro. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Denzel, what's up, bro? He says, I have Pollard in a 12-team Superflex Dynasty. What would you give up for Spears? A second-round pick. 2 second-round picks. I would give up 2 second-round picks for Spears. Denzel says, draft pick Nene. Yes, 2 second-round picks. TZ says, Todd Chelling can also be a good pickup with Aaron Jones injury prone. Right. He could be a good running back to say Jones goes down for a few weeks. Right. So I would say that's a true handcuff. He would be a guy as a handcuff. I don't think he's a squeeze, but he's a good handcuff. Roll. He says, I just keep in unstacked Pollard unless you can get him for a fair price. I wouldn't overpay. Me neither. I would go up to a second, though. I think Tajay Spears is worth a second. I would even give up 2 seconds. What is 2 seconds? That's not going to cost you. You can go back and make another trade and get a second back. Like, I would say 2 seconds. That's just me. Denzel said he's a backup on my team. My thinking as well. Big Will says, sir, watch Ayuk. His skills tracking ball in the air is awesome. Also, his route running and separation is pretty good. And last but not least, he doesn't drop the ball. Right, but he's not on Amon-Ra level. He's not close to Amon-Ra. That's why he think he's gonna get an Amon-Ra deal. I don't think he's better than Amon-Ra. I think he's a good wide receiver. I think he's better than T. Higgins. I think he's the top. Once you talk about the top wide receivers in the NFL, like the bona fide guys like Jamar, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Tyreek, I would say I would put Waddle over him, and after that, I probably would say Ayuk. I would put Waddle over him, but just because of speed. But he's a better route runner, and he has better hands than Waddle. But he's not as fast as Waddle. So my preference is speed. But as far as route running, right after those elite guys, Ayuk like what 9? I would say he like number 9 wide receiver. You know, as far as young guys, Devontae Adams is probably, I might say, still might be a little bit better, but that's an older guy. I'm not going to put Devontae Adams in this. I'm just talking about the bona fide young guys. Ian says, what's up, TD? What about Ford and Chubb is recovering? Right. I said Ford, and Charlene brought that up. I agree. Ford should have been my honorable mention guy. TZ says, would you do Puka and Cup as a squeeze? No, that's not a squeeze, but I'm stacking them. That's a stack for me this year. I love Puka and Cup. I'm trying to get Puka and Cup every single draft that I can if they fall to me. And Matthew Stafford. I love that triple stack this year. The Rose says, I like Sharps. I really do. I think he's the best backup but in week 12 and 13, when K9 was out, he was mid in yards per carry, and his volume carried him. This is why he is no K9 and has no chance to take his job. Yeah, but he had a good game. He had a couple good games. But I agree with you. He didn't like be bona fide, but I still think he had a good game. Okay. So, hold up. TZ with the super chat. He says, all these running backs have pros and cons. You just got to go with the guys you believe that will ball out and go down with your decision. Go down with the ship. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, TZ. Appreciate that, bro. Harambe says Trey Benson is a cuff. Right. He is a cuff. He's not a squeeze. He's a cuff. Because Connors to me is going to ball. I mean, as long as he's healthy. Rose says, give me some Walker at his ADP. The Rose says Jefferson. He thinks Jefferson is better than Amara. Do a poll for Amara versus Tyree. Okay, that's what I'll do, Zach. Let me end this one real quick. All right. Amara won that one. Let's do Amara. All right, hold on. Okay, let me do this poll real quick, guys. Yeah, Amara killed that one. Oh, wait a minute, is that the one? No, okay, that's not the same one. Okay, never mind. Okay, and we're gonna do Amon-Ra versus Tyreek Hill, and I know who's gonna win this one. All right. Let's see. Full PPR St. Brown. If not, Jefferson by a hair. Right. I'm going with St. Brown. How do you rank Kyron, Connor, and Walker? Kyron to me is a 3rd round pick, and single quarterback, second round pick. I'm probably taking him in the 3rd, but I think he's definitely a 2nd round pick. Me, I'm taking him in the 3rd. Connor to me, I'm probably taking Connor in the 5th or 6th round, depending on league format, what's on the board. Walker is, I would say, a 4th round pick. I would say a 4th round pick for Walker. That's probably when he's going. RG says Amara, but only because of the quarterback situation, right? Harami says, great call on Rhamondre, TD. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I love Rhamondre. Zach says, poll question, Zamir White versus Rhamondre. Okay, that's going to be a good one. I'll do that one next. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. So, yeah, I would probably go with between Zamir White and versus Rhamondre. I'm probably going with Zamir White because he ain't got no backups, and that's close, man. I don't feel great about saying that. I think it's a great tomato, but I'm gonna go with Zamir White because he don't have a backup. Antonio Gibson is a decent backup. TZ says, yeah, I agree. New England might struggle, or they might improve. There's a new system there. Only thing I know is Stevenson is a good running back and still young, plus can catch, right, and got paid. That's it. Let me see. TZ says Stevenson is a 10 times better than White as a runner and pass catcher. Right, but it don't always matter who's better. Right, it doesn't always matter who's better. It's who got it. The situation matters sometimes after you talking about the top elite guys. But it depends. It depends. Go down with the guy that you like. Mike Black says you should make your pick live. Can I pull it up? I don't think I can pull it up, man, because the way my live, I don't think it's gonna let me do it. I wanted to, Mike. Mike, I'm in the league right now with Mike, and Mike is saying that I should make my pick. I'm on the clock. I don't want to waste too much time telling y'all because it ain't right. But I wish I was on my other live. I could have did it. Appreciate you, Kenny. Uncle Ted says Jonathan Brooks is a must draft. Yeah, I mean, at the end of your drafts, I mean, he could ball out, man. I'm not taking him, Uncle Ted. I think he's a good player to take an opportunity on at the end of your drafts. I'm just not gonna rely and build my team around him coming and being healthy and taking over this offense. But they are gonna run the ball a lot there. Somebody else is gonna get carries outside of Chuba Hubbard for sure. Ethan says, man, I've been locked in on a new college football game in fantasy. I feel like I am a real coach and GM. Yes, sir. That's when I used to play. That's what I used to do. Uncle Ted says, give me St. Brown round 1, Olave round 2, and in a 12-team NFFC league. Yeah, I mean, man, Olave might break out. That's the Rose guy. I'm not taking Olave in the second round. And he's a second round pick, but I'm not taking him there. I'm taking other guys over him. If he fall to me in the third, I might think about it, especially the fourth. And I know he's not going to make it there. Uncle Ted says, load up as many rookie running backs as you can late. I agree, late. That's a killer strategy, bro. That's what I do. So if Jonathan Book's there for me late and I can just stack them at the end of my draft once I got my starting lineup, then yeah, I'll take them. Uncle Ted says, Justin plus Dax, Tool, or Love is a nice quarterback fade stack. Justin Herbert plus Dak, Tool, or Love is a nice quarterback. Right, I love those. I like those. I like Love and Tool. Justin and Dak, I'm not getting a lot of them this year. The Rose says, K9 Walker shouldn't be in the dead zone, but he is. I didn't say he was in the dead zone. He's just in the dead zone of running backs. He's going out of the top 6, top 7 guys. You're going to have to put him over Derrick Henry and those guys to say that he's not in the dead zone. That's just what the dead zone is. I'm not saying he's the dead zone guy. Uncle Ted says, people are so down on Jonathan Brooks yet. High on B. John last year. It's because of injuries, Uncle Ted. It's injuries. If that man wasn't injured, man, I would not be down on him. It's all about the injury, bro. And I can't say, well, Adrian Peterson doing it. I can't do that. That's like saying, man, this dude can get a jumper. Michael Jordan had a jumper, but that's Michael Jordan. I need to see it first. So you could be right, bro. If you hit on this, I'm like, hey, man, you killed it. You killed it. Brooks is coming into a better situation than B. John did last year. Yeah, but he's hurt. He's hurt. Christopher, what's up, bro? Glad to see you. He said, you like Stevenson this year? I love Stevenson this year. After he got paid, that just let me know. Listen, I liked Stevenson before, but I didn't know what they was going to do. So when he got paid, I felt good about having him on my team. I know he's not going to get cut, and they're not going to be playing musical chairs with him. So that's why I like Stevenson. Uncle Ted says, Breach Hall looked fine with the same injury Brooks had. No, he didn't. Breach had a couple good, like 2 good games in the first 8 weeks of the season. But Breach went off so much down the stretch in the fourth quadrant, he ended up being a top running back, like a top 3 running back. So, Breach struggled in the beginning, man. He had a couple games where he had like 20 yards. He had like 1 yard per carry, bro, a couple games. But Breach started getting better. So I believe Jonathan Brooks, he could get better. If you saying stash for the fourth quadrant, I agree. But to say he gonna come out and have 100 yards the first, second game, I don't believe it. And I know that's not the all be all, but that's why I'm not drafting him. The Rose says Walker is gonna ball out. Hold my receipt. He has been balling out, just a bit of injury concern. But Sharp has no chance to overtake Walker. He is the clear-cut starter and has looked far better. Right. Charbonnet only been there for 1 year. I agree with that. He's more explosive. Uncle Ted says, I take KW3 late all day. Right. I will. I take him late. I'm not going to take him as my starting RB unless I did a 0 RB build. It all depends on how my build is. Silver Rapture, what's up, bro? Uncle Ted says KW3 is still a monster. He's very explosive. Uncle Ted says AR5 could easily be the quarterback 1 this year if he stays healthy. I agree. That's facts. Rose says Uncle Ted agreed Walker is top 10 in talent alone, and in his situation isn't bad, so no way should be falling to RB 15 and 20. You could be right. That could be a good point. Schultz is okay, but 4th round rookie Cade Stover is an absolute monster. 6'5" with a 4.6 40. Bro, you've been saying it. I'm gonna go make some moves for Cade Stover. I'm gonna make some moves for Cade Stover. You've been on that, bro. And when they hit, I gotta give you credit, Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted says I stack all the dead zone backs I can get early and sort the studs and duds out. I like that. I do. That's how I play. Once I got my stud wide receivers, I take a running back. I'm like, one of these guys gonna hit, and you right about that. But far as like, oh, I got one, and he's gonna be the monster. I can't bank on it like that. But I will stack my chances and see who's gonna come through and ball out and end up being an RB1 or RB2. I will do that. Zach Miles, what's up, bro? He says, you like Aaron Jones this year? I like him at the right ADP. It ain't really no bad on running backs, man. If they start him, and they all gonna be good certain weeks. It's just at the ADP you're gonna get him. But Aaron Jones is special. Aaron Jones has been, when he was healthy, he was like the RB2, RB3 last year, especially in the fantasy football playoffs. Okay. Yep, I got static. All right, thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me that, Isaac.
Um, hopefully it went away now.
Isaac says you got okay, we got it. Uncle Ted says you can never have enough running backs. Right, beast.
What's going on?
Shelf, what's good? Uncle Ted says Deuce Vaughn could be this year A Chain. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. A Chain, he could be
Top 30.
or something, but I don't know if he can be A Chain. A Chain was the #1 running back like 2 weeks. Deuce is going to murk the RPOs like A Chain did last year. That's a good. If it happens, man, that's gonna be a good take. Kyle, what's up, bro? Kyle says Chuba Hubbard undervalued that rookie coming off an ACL. Right, Chuba Hubbard undervalued that rookie coming off an ACL. I agree. That's what I keep saying. I don't want a rookie coming off an ACL. If he overcome it, then I have to give credit where credit's due. Let's see here.
Chef says, did everyone forget
JJ is really good at football? They didn't vote for him, man. Rose says, I voted for Jefferson. Kyle says, is his quarterback good at football? That's a good rebuttal, Kyle. Chef says, Amara isn't putting up 1,800 yards.
You probably right.
But don't sit there and try to act like Amara can't do that. You put Amara in a system where they're going to throw the ball a lot, like the way they do with Justin Jefferson now, I get it, man. Justin Jefferson taller. But Amara, I'm not going to sit, man, you know what?
I'm just right now.
I'm trying to say who's a better player.
Man, I guess I got to give
Give it to Justin Jefferson a little tiny bit. Amara my favorite player. I like Amara over Justin Jefferson, but I got to be fair. I can't disrespect to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson might be a little bit better, but that can change. We're going to have to wait and see. Amara could go for 1,800 yards.
Isaac is laughing.
Chef says JJ is quarterback proof, and KOC will scheme him open. You right. We know what Justin Jefferson can ball out. He balled out with backups last year, the third string. Charlie says JJ has talent, but quarterback is not good. Facts. Chef says talent is is an understatement. He put up 1,400 yards his rookie year. His worst year was 23, and he put up 1,000 yards still. Right. The Rose says y'all sleeping harder on Joe Biden on Olave than Joe Biden on Olave. Yeah, we are sleeping. I'm sleeping on him, bro. I think Isaac said it. Rashid Shaheed is better. Rashid Shaheed is better. Dixon, what's up, bro? He says follow the money, Jefferson. Rose says, hey, Isaac, you a clown. Rose says, Isaac, that's why Olave was far better in every metric. Clearly, you ain't paying attention to football.
He wasn't better.
He was better at a lot of stuff, but not every metric. Not every metric. TT says Jonathan Brooks is going to miss too much time and then needs more time to get ready for the season of NFL. Just don't see him doing much this year. I agree with that.
I just said
Says I'm just saying what TD thinks. I do think Rashid Shaheed is better. I do.
Doomsday. What's
What's
up?
up, bro? He says, "What's good, folks? What's good, bro?" I just says, "No way in the hell I would take Olave as my first wide receiver. I'm not either." Olave numbers drop when he goes more than 30 yards. Shaheed is a better deep baller. I agree. That's why I like Shaheed because of the deep ball. Sound was white noise, TD. Okay, thank you. Hopefully they got better.
Rose says
Charlene, you can have a better deep ball, doesn't mean you're a better wide receiver. I disagree with that. So let me ask you this, Ro.
who is better? Randy.
Randy Moss. No, who's better? Who's a better route runner? Randy Moss or Julia Elderman?
That's what I want to ask you.
Who's better? Who is better? Who's a better route runner? Who's better underneath? And who's better deep?
Because Judah Edelman is elite,
Running routes.
but he's in the slot.
So that's what I would ask. Charlie says live ADP is too rich for me. I agree. Rami says, "Roll. How early would you take Olave in redraft? This is going to be good." Rami says, "World, let me check my rankings." Charlene says, "I'm not touching Carr." Zach says, "B. John versus Amara." That's a good one, Zach. That's a good one. Rose says Harambe 15th. Harambe's Royal 15th overall.
Let's see. Chef says
Chef says, "Man, if the Saints had a better quarterback with those weapons,
Charlene says B.
John
John.
all day." Chef says 80 ATP is their Devontae Adams. No way. ATP is not going to be Devontae Adams. Siobhan said, "Hey guys, what's going on, Siobhan?" And Zach says, "I'm taking Demario Douglas over Olave." Okay, the Rose says probably Julian. Right. So is Julian better than Randy Moss?
Because Randy Moss wasn't a
Great route runner. He could run routes, but he wasn't a great route runner. And I don't believe you have to be a great route runner to be a great wide receiver. I think if you are great at getting deep,
you can be better than guys who
who can run the route tree. Randy Moss, he could run a route tree, but he wasn't a route tree guy.
as Zach Seaman says, you clearly haven't.
Watch Olave film. Would you take Olave over Henry Rowe? Chef says Gibbs or A Chain. I'm going with A Chain over Gibbs.
The Rose says Harambe's
World, not even close. Yes. Chef says don't sleep on AT. I'm sleeping on him, bro, but he might be good. I'm sleeping on him a little bit. The Rose says he is nowhere close to Moss. Yeah, but I said Julia Elderman though. That's what I'm trying to. Julia Elderman is a better route runner. So Chris Olave. So what I'm trying to say, Chris Olave is a better route runner than Shaheed, but Shaheed's a better deep threat. Would you say that Shaheed is a better deep threat than Olave? If you don't believe that, then I understand it. I believe that Shaheed's a better deep threat, and I believe being a better deep threat to me
is
is
bigger in today's game. He said it wasn't a comp.
I know Shaheed's not Moss. I'm just talking about the skill set. No, he's not Moss, but the skill set. Shaheed is more valuable because he can get deep to me right now. That's just my opinion on it. But running a route tree is a lot of guys. Guess what? Jerry Jeudy can run a route tree. Jerry Jeudy is one of the best route runners coming out of college in a long time. But he ain't fast enough to get open. And then you got guys that can't run the route tree, but they can still have big games because the deep ball. It also helps offense. Helps the offense too, more than a guy that can run the route tree.
Harami says, I personally
I would rather have Henry, but get your guys. Charlene says, love the show, TD. Have a good night. Thank you. Isaac says Olave is a jag. Just just another guy. He ain't no just another guy. He's good. He's good.
Dirt Boy.
What's up, bro? He said, what's good, bro? Ricky Pearsall or Luke McCaffrey? Ricky Pearsall.
Isaac says,
and Derek Carr throws a great deep ball and has better chemistry with Shaheed. Siobhan says, do you think they'll use Shakir or Coleman or Curtis as a deep threat on Buffalo? Yeah, I think
Keon Coleman
is going to be probably the best guy out of those guys at this point in time.
All right, guys.
So, well, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate everybody being here. Everybody went with Tyreek Hill over Amon-Ra. I figured that. Yeah, I was going to go with Tyreek over Amon-Ra too. But
guys, thank y'all
for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content.
Peace. Okay, wait a minute. Here go.
Rose says, deep threat isn't everything. I say Mike Williams is just as good, if not better, than Amon-Ra in deep threat. Doesn't mean he's better or even close.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I can't knock you for that. But I think you being disingenuous to Olave being healthy and being tough and stuff like that. I don't think you bringing everything in there. I think you just looking at it as a scientific experiment. If you look at it as a scientific experiment, Olave could be the best wide receiver in the league. Olave could be a better route runner than Justin Jefferson, but you're not going to say he's better than Justin Jefferson. Why? Because Justin Jefferson is tougher. Justin Jefferson got it's things that it's the nuances to it. I don't think Chris Olave is tough. I don't think he's a great blocker. It's a lot of other things. But if you just want to say he's running a route and he getting open and he looks good in and out of a break, yeah, man, he's great. But what about all the other stuff that it takes to be a good wide receiver? Being tough, being able to take a hit, blocking, running downfield, getting people, making a block for your running back, all the little small, a jump ball. Rashid Shaheed
do kickoff return
and punt return. Rami says, fair point. Didn't say he was Zach. Olave has great film. Right.
Yeah, like I said, man,
the film doesn't. I think the film is kind of overrated a little bit.
I think the film is a little bit overrated.
As far as just looking at how he runs routes, I think you got to look at more than that when we saying he's better than certain people. Listen, am I being disingenuous when I say that he's better, that Rashid Shaheed is better? Yes, bro. I'm not capping, but I understand I'm wrong for saying that. But as time comes out, man, and time goes on, bro, he could be better. And even though he's not a better route runner, he could be better because he's just tougher. So, and a lot of guys have been better than other guys for a lot of reasons. Look at QJ. Like, I'm not saying QJ is a route runner, but there's a lot of guys like Tank Dell is way. Who better, Tank Dell or Chris Olave? Ro, who's better, Tank Dell or Chris Olave? And you know what? You look at the film and all that. You can say Chris Olave, but ain't nobody gonna say Chris Olave better than Tank Dell. But I want to ask you: you think Chris Olave is better than Tank Dell?
Olave can
take hits just cause he's smaller like Water doesn't mean he can't be a number one. He be getting knocked out of the game. Waddle's not a number one. Tyreek is the number one on that team. Olave is far better than Tank Dell. Far better.
Siobhan says if
chemistry changes, then maybe there'll be a change for Carr and Olave this year. Right. Facts.
Rose says yes, and
almost everyone will agree with me on that. Okay, well, we waiting to see that. Okay, we waiting. Charlene says Dale. We got 2 Dales.
I'm gonna
wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit more before I get off here. Because I want to give you the respect, bro. Like I said, Olave is a good player. I'm not sitting saying Olave ain't a first-round pick.
I think
Dale is better than Olave to me. Check anyone dynasty rankings. Yeah, but that's rankings though, bruh. Like that doesn't mean everything, man. You gotta look at the guy. Like look at Amara. Amara was like what? Real low in rankings that's coming out. Like that stuff changed. Coming out pre-rankings, Olave top three. But playing on the field, Zach says put up a poll, Delo Olave. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put up a poll. I'm gonna
Put
put
up
up
a
a poll.
poll. Y'all got me up late.
Late.
All right. Hey, roll with vote.
Voted fast too, boy. That damn Chris Olave shot up quick. Siobhan said we got to see the first dude got yelled at on the right. He got yelled at on the sideline by Carr. Everyone saw it, even though Carr overthrew him. Chemistry is off, and that's important in a relationship. I agree. Rose says wide receiver 11 compared to wide receiver 22 too many mouths to feed, and that ain't what we saying. We talking about talent here. We ain't talking about situation. We talking about talent. Yeah, of course, I'm drafting Olave over Tank Dell. Everybody's going to draft Olave before they get to Tank Dell. But we saying who is the better talent. That's what we saying, Ro.
Charlene says
JJ has talent, but if you don't have a talented quarterback, it's useless.
we talking about talent.
Not situation. And nobody's going to Tank Dale because you can get Tank Dale later. Nobody's going to Tank Dale at the beginning of the second round, where Chris Olave is going. But people say, well, I'd rather fade Olave and wait late and get Tank Dale, even with all those maps to feed, just for the talent of Tank Dale. Now, Chris Olave got a better situation. He's going to out target Tank Dale. Chris Olave going to get 115, 120 targets easily. But is he a better talent? If you go out there, you put a corner on him, who gonna ball, who gonna get off more? Some people think Tank Dell is quicker and better than Chris Olave. I think he is.
Tank Dell better than Rashid.
Shaheed. Um,
Yeah. Chef said
says roll. I agree. It isn't close.
so.
So
Chef.
Shelf is taking
He's taking Chris Olave too.
Rose says if we're talking about talent, Olave is a top 11 pick in a stacked wide receiver class, but Dell is a mid as hell prospect. Woo! Mid as hell prospect? Like prospect just because of their value? I mean, after like if that's the case, is Chris Olave better than Antonio Brown? Because Antonio Brown was a 4th round pick. Antonio Brown was a 4th round pick.
And I'm talking about like in real
life. Dell ADP is better.
And he said, yes, he overcame that.
I take Dell as wide receiver 3 and put him in my flex because I know Stroud and Dell have awesome relationship. Rockout says Dell is a beast on out routes and deep. Right.
Rose says, no, not what I'm
saying, but Dell has only proven 1 year. Okay.
And Olave has
only proven 1.5 years, right? Like he was a good rookie, but after that, being consistent.
Charlene says Will
Fuller. I don't know if Tank Dell Will Fuller. He's a little bit better than Will Fuller. He's a lot better than Will Fuller.
Olave could
reach AB level, but has work to do. Woo!
That's rough.
I feel you.
I feel you.
I think Almaraz's on AB level, but I don't know. We'll see.
He got to be,
AB. You ain't knocking AB out of the game. AB played back in the day where you could hit guys, knock them out, And AB used to take a lot of those hits and keep going. He only got knocked out of the game maybe once.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get
Ready to get out of here. Olave was a headache for my sister last year and hurt her in the stretch. She missed the playoffs. Dale has only had 1 year or so. Rose said that's not even spicy. Olave is on Garrett Wilson level, easy. Yeah, I think Christian Watson better than Garrett Wilson. That's just me. When Christian Watson is out there on the field, that boy is eating. That's just me. And that's a whole nother different conversation. Olave only proved something his rookie season, right? Will Fuller's a deep baller.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get ready
to get out of here. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.